Let's go to the Giants. Jaxson Dahn, 43% of the games he's played in, allegedly he has ended up, 42.8%, he has ended up in the blue tent because he can extend plays and spin it. What a throw here at Malachi Fields. Obviously, Jaxson Dahn is the topic of conversation. He's the New York Football Giants quarterback. Obviously, a lot of eyes, ears, and pressure on that particular position. He does get injured and banged up a bunch. He's saying a little bit more than maybe he should be getting banged up or whatever the case is. But that's an incredible throw. Fields with a wild catch. And the New York Giants, I'll tell you, every time I hear something new about them, I get pumped up about what they're doing. Is Odell Beckham Jr. going to make that team? Bruce Brown?
I think so. So Juju actually did not play in this preseason game. He warmed up and then was a late scratch. So people are thinking maybe Juju Smith-Schuster ends up getting cut. But Odell played great. He had some routes where he was wide open, and Brandon Allen just decided not to throw him the ball. Not a great day for Brandon Allen, our QB3. But I think Odell was awesome, and it was awesome seeing him get a huge ovation from the Giants faithful.
I also like that Odell was out there blocking. He was getting after it. New York Giants, though, they go as Jaxson Dahn goes.
Yep.
Jaxson Dahn goes to the blue tent all the time.
All the time.
Jaxson Dahn at the end of the game said, they're always putting me in this blue tent or whatever. And it's like, well, I think if you get hit and then you lay down in fetal position for a little bit, there's going to be some people that are wondering if you're all right. But the way he mentioned it, I thought maybe he thought that there's a little bit of a overzealous unk. You know, maybe an unk at MetLife that gets a little bit happy with, let's go check him out so they can grandstand on being healthier than everybody else. I thought that's what Jaxson Dahn was potentially alluding to. But if you watch this in real time, which I went back and had to watch it, he laid down there for a while.
Yeah.
And I do think the unks probably were like, yeah, we should get eyes on this guy. He's got a little bit of history.
Play safe.
He goes in there, he comes back. He goes into the blue tent in a preseason game, starting quarterback for the New York Football Giants, and then comes back out and plays again. So preseason football, it's a wild decision to make, but I do appreciate that is how Jaxson Dahn feels about the entire situation. But this is a guy who, you know, just like Jeremiah Love, who we will talk about here literally in a matter of moments, that when we watch him play football, we think there's no way this guy's going to survive. And it feels like he knows that, feels like that's the type of player he is. But if he can stay healthy, he can make all the plays to be great. They can win a Super Bowl. They can go everywhere. But will he be able to survive? I think that is kind of the question. I think he knows that at this point too, Conman.
Yeah, and it was very similar to Drake May, his rookie year, to Drake May's second year. Like, he had to learn how to slide. I think Drake had 3 concussion-type plays when he was a rookie. The thing with Jaxson Dahn is he doesn't take awkward shots. He takes massive shots. It feels like every time he gets hit, he's getting blown up. He's leading with his head on the sideline.
Third down, coach. I want to get this first down.
It's kind of why people love him, though. This is, he's selling out. This is why you're excited for it. This is another one later in the season. You see it's week 13. He's tiptoeing on the sideline, and he gets blown up. These aren't like casual, hey, maybe check on this guy. This is, hey, this dude just got decleated. Let's make sure he's still alive. I think that's the thing with Jaxson Dahn. But, I mean, you showed his touchdown. That's why it's so exciting to watch him play. He is fantastic when he's on the field.
Jaxson Dahn obviously has been phenomenal when he plays.
Yeah.
He can run. He can throw. Shit like this is just kind of status quo for him. But when he's running, he does appear to look for contact.
Yeah.
And it's we love him for it, but
Yes.
certainly don't know if it's sustainable. Jaxson Dart's story is he's knocked out of games a lot. The stats coming out about the blue tent in a preseason game getting hit like this sucks. We need to protect him. What are we doing? He goes in the blue tent, comes back out onto the field in a preseason game. Is that Harbaugh's doing? Is that Jaxson Dart's doing? Like, how do we kind of feel about the Jaxson blue tent preseason game situation that we're currently sitting in, knowing that if he stays healthy, you guys are great. If he's not healthy, probably not.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a lot of things that have gone on that has really taken on a life of its own as far as this blue tent goes. I mean, the funny thing is that the one concussion he had last year, he wasn't even taken to the blue tent in Chicago. Everything else he's passed when he's gotten to the blue tent. And then you see the hit that he had the other night. I mean, that was just a misprotection by Tyrone Tracy, the running back. I think the Giants were a little upset that he even had to go in the tent. You understand they want to err on the side of caution. But he was ready to go. He was cleared. And they put him back out there, took one play, and he threw a touchdown to Malachi Fields. So it's a slippery slope here now, and Jaxson Dahn now has this tag. I don't know how fair it is, but I think you can understand why they want to lean on, be more cautious than anything else.
And he can still have another 14, 15-year career where there isn't a problem at all. And I appreciate him. There's been other quarterbacks that have come into the league young, very athletic, want their teammates to respect them, want football to respect them, want to respect football. I mean, we were teammates with Andrew Luck. That guy felt like he was disrespecting the entire sport if he turned something down or made a play end early. And it was just like in his mindset. But there's also guys like Joe Burrow who used to seek out contact, and then he kind of stopped doing that because he understood that, like, availability is the greatest ability. Who knows what Jaxson Dart's journey is going to be, but I know I love him because he does that. But I'm very thankful that I'm not a fan of a team that he plays for, because it kind of reminds me of the Carson Wentz experience, just with a lot more talent. Okay, at this stage, than whenever Carson was with the Indianapolis Colts. That is how I'm kind of viewing it. It's just a roller coaster. Jaxson Dart goes into the blue tent, comes back out, and does this, AJ. He's filthy. He's silky. He's throwing a touchdown in preseason to Mr. Fields. Your thoughts on the play? Filthy from Jaxson, I thought.
Yeah, like what Dan said, this is Jaxson being Jaxson here, making plays, obviously, with his feet. Nice little rolling to your left, squaring back up. Beautiful throw, like the arm talent, the athletic ability is off the charts. Like, hopefully he can stay out of the blue tent. I know he's pissed off that he has to go in there every time he gets touched. But, yeah, I mean, things are definitely looking up for the Giants.
We actually looked into the UNC stuff a little bit. We called Source Says at the league to learn about it, because I thought Jaxson was potentially saying, like, this guy a little trigger happy on sending me to the blue tent than everywhere else. Stats have come out at 42.8% of the games in which he played in, he ends up in the blue tent at least one time, which is a crazy stat. He's obviously young in his career still. But we learned about the UNC protocol. There's 6 of them per stadium. Okay, they rotate, 3 of them per game. Each unaffiliated neurology consultant person has to work at least 3 games, so it's on a rotating basis. The 3 jobs are on home team, away team, and booth. They rotate those jobs as well. So there's 6 people rotating through 3 different jobs, 3 per game, 3 games at least per each UNC. So if there was like a trigger-happy UNC, that person's going to be on the away team the next one, and then in the booth the next one. So there's no real, like, staying at the same thing.
Trainers up there too.
Yeah, there's 2 athletic trainers alongside the UNC up in the top. There's other people down at the bottom. So we called the NFL, and asked, like, hey, what if there is like a trigger-happy UNC at one of these stadiums that isn't like trying to sway a game, but just grandstanding on, like, oh, just for player health and player safety, I'm smarter than every other. It affects the game if somebody misses 1 play or 2 plays, especially at the quarterback position. They have an answer for that. They're like, well, actually, it's 6 different UNCs, 3 of them rotating each game on each side. So they try to chop that potential out of one person having so much control over one thing. So it was nice to learn about that process, but it is also interesting that that blue tent can just be, you're out for at least 3-4 games.
But I thought the blue tent is only to take, like, those people can only check to see if you got dinged up. If you got a head injury, I thought if they think, hey, my ribs might be hurt, get out of here. I'm not going to the blue tent. Like, if it's not affecting my head, I don't think they can take me in there.
Yeah, I think concussion is what they're always checking for in there. That's why it's a neurological consultant, unaffiliated. Yeah. So he's not with, he or she is not with any team or whatever the case is.
Which is also why, to AJ's point, like when he got hit against the Vikings there, he didn't move. Like if it's the ribs or something like that, you would think they would start writhing in pain or, slamming their leg or hand off the ground. Like because it was just like lifeless body, you need to lift him, drag him off the turf is I think why they ended up checking him.
He was in fetal position there for a little bit, which added to the probable read of this entire thing, then puts him in there. But it did seem like it was a shot to the chest. But then the UNC has to think, well, did he whiplash potentially off the field there?
His head hit, all that.
Why is he laying down so long? That's how they're making that decision in split time. So I'm happy to hear that they at least have protocols in place so that we can't have the same, Yeah. Because if you got one UNC on the away team at a thing every single time, we need to check in. Right now? Yep. Get him off the field right now. Well, it's kind of like fourth quarter. Get him. Are we player safety or we're not?
Yeah, I'd be so pissed if I was a Giants fan.
Oh.
And they took him in the tent on this play. Nah. I mean, I get the context of him laying there, but if you're watching this play, you watch the replays. Whiplash, maybe, but, it's clearly no.
Wind knocked out of him.
Yeah, there's no high impact to his.
Jaxson was pissed about it as well.
Yeah.
He was not thrilled. So, I mean, we're learning more about the process. It's all for player safety.
Yep.
Hopefully they're able to continue to do that.